Police officers, have you ever let someone get away with a crime? When I was fresh out of the academy, I thought being a cop was all about rules. You follow orders, you enforce the law, you do what you're told. That's what they drilled into us. I didn't expect my first real moral test to come from a guy who barely had shoes on his feet. There was this homeless guy in town. Everyone knew him. Jimmy. He wasn't dangerous, just a nuisance sometimes. The kind of guy who'd get picked up for loitering or drunk and disorderly but never hurt a soul. He'd been on the streets longer than I'd been alive. One night, I was sitting in my cruiser when the radio crackled. Convenience store on Maple. Robbery in progress. Suspect still on the scene. I hit the lights and sped over. Adrenaline kicking in. I didn't know what to expect. Maybe some junkie with a knife. Maybe some desperate guy with a gun. But when I pulled up, all I saw were two officers pinning Jimmy to the pavement like he was some kind of violent criminal. He was thrashing, yelling for them to get off him. But they just pressed down harder. I got out and walked over. "I got this," I said. They looked at me like I was crazy. "You sure, rookie?" "Yeah, let him up." The officers exchanged a look but stepped back. Jimmy groaned as he sat up, rubbing his wrists. His face was red, and his shirt was torn at the collar. "What the hell, Jimmy?" I asked. "What happened?" He swallowed hard. "I was hungry, man. I ain't eaten in 2 days." His voice cracked a little. "I just wanted some chips. Maybe a sandwich." I looked at the store clerk, a kid who couldn't have been more than 19. He stood behind the counter, arms crossed. "He took food," the kid said. I guess it's still theft, right?" "Technically, yeah, the law is black and white on paper," but standing there, looking at this man who had nothing, it didn't feel so simple. I pulled Jimmy to his feet and dusted him off. "You hurt anyone?" He shook his head. Didn't even get out the door before they jumped me. I turned to the kid. "You pressing charges?" The kid shifted his weight. I don't know. It's just snacks." I pulled out my wallet and put a 20 on the counter. "That cover it?" The kid hesitated but nodded. "Yeah, I guess." I turned back to Jimmy. "All right, man, let's go." The other cops watched as I walked him out, but no one stopped me. Once we were outside, he looked at me, confused. "You ain't taking me in?" "No, Jimmy," I said. "But you can't keep doing this." He let out a dry laugh. "What else am I supposed to do?" I didn't have an answer for that. I wasn't some social worker. I wasn't gonna change his life overnight, but I could do something. So I took him to a diner down the street and bought him a meal. I sat across from him, drinking coffee while he shoveled food into his mouth like he hadn't eaten in weeks. Maybe he hadn't. After that night, I kept an eye on him. Every so often, I'd find him and bring him a sandwich or a cup of coffee. He'd tell me stories about the life he had before the streets. A job, a family, a house. He lost it all, bit by bit, until he had nothing left. I never arrested him. Not once. A few years later, I got transferred to a different precinct. I didn't see Jimmy anymore. Then, one day, I was grabbing coffee at a gas station when I heard someone say my name. I turned and there he was, cleaner, healthier, wearing a shirt with a name tag. "Hey, man," he grinned. "I got a job." It took me a second to recognize him. He looked like a different person. I smiled back. "Proud of you, Jimmy." He nodded, eyes a little glassy. "You're the only one who ever gave a damn." I don't know if I did the right thing that night. Maybe I should have booked him like the law said. But I think about how things turned out, and I don't regret it. Not one bit.